This program is brought to you in partnership with Undp in Botswana. The UNDP Supply Development Program is modeled after successful programs in South America and Asia. In Botswana, the program model proves to have also caught on successfully, with a number of buyers reporting better business practices since the program launched. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Primetime Live, and as you can probably tell from the symbols behind me, we are yet again speaking about the UNDP Supply Development Program. From understanding the value chains to breaking down the methodology, we are the guiding hand that takes you through all of it. So allow me to speak no more and let's get on with the show. Selection of the participants is a delicate and carefully thought out process, exploring a number of guiding principles.
In selecting the sectors that are on the SDP, we considered sectors that would ensure jobs creation, and hence our selection of mostly production related sectors that are not really agency type of businesses. So we have mining, we have infrastructure, we have agro-processing, we have leather, textiles, health, we've now added health, digital and other manufacturing. So that's what we also considered, because we wanted to also include youth and women. So we figured digital, as you know, youth are digital savvy. Women, textiles, leather, agro-processing are sectors that women in Botswana are prominent in, not discounting the fact that they could also be playing a huge role in the mining and infrastructure. Key for us was the suppliers to be in the vicinity of the buyer, because we want the program to be geographically spread and affect a lot of Botswana throughout the country. They've got to be in a value-adding business, as I mentioned earlier. We don't deal with agency business like a buy and sell type, because we believe that there's slim chances of them creating jobs, even if the amount of supplies would increase. And in any case, there's other programs that cater for that. We also look at existing suppliers of these buyers. So they've got to already be in the supply databases of these buyers who are on the program. But another important aspect is they've got to be in a niche business, an innovative business, a business that has high barriers to entry, because then it means that there is actually a gap in the market that they are filling. And that way they are assured of sustainable business. So the first year we had 7 buyers on board. It was Botesh, Kometau, Lukara, Murupule, Grand Palm Cresta, and Napro. As you can pick, they're spread across those sectors that I mentioned earlier. And then the number of suppliers were on board were 44 suppliers. Then we allocated UNDP trained consultants to implement the supply development methodology within the supply chains. So what we did with the first year, we reserved a quota for women and youth-owned businesses per supply chain. So each supply chain ran in multiples of 3 or 6 and 9. So the maximum that a buyer would have, say Botesh had 9 suppliers on board, and we allocated 3 consultants to them. So the core of the program in year 1 was to ensure that these suppliers these consultants mentor the suppliers over a 10-month period to ensure that they are effective in terms of their financial operations, in terms of their technical operations, and in terms of just their sustainability as a whole as a business. But for us as well, and that's the reason why really the buyers come on board, we want to ensure that the buyers continue to have an interest in buying from these local suppliers, because that way then they're able to grow the businesses. So we saw great results. Almost all the 44 suppliers who were on the program, coincidentally, they turned out to actually be essential services. About 80% were. Those who went, we ensured that they stayed afloat during year 1. As you know, that year 1 was when we were faced with the COVID pandemic. Almost all of them had an increase in the number of jobs they created. Because remember, when you refine your operations, it means then you become more profitable. You're able to afford, and you also grow. So when you grow, you are bound to need more people on board, and hence our focus on value-adding businesses. Because if say it's a business that supplies a pen, even if they supply 1 million pens, what are the chances of them, say, increasing the number of jobs? But we've also witnessed an increase in the number. Almost all buyers reflected that they bought more from these suppliers. Because remember, the core of the supply development program is to ensure that goods and services that are supplied to the buyers, that are delivered on time, in quality, like in consistent quality, but most importantly at the right price. So once that happens, it means that once the buyer is happy, they're able to open up and buy more from the same supply. So it's like a replicable model.
The Cresta Maracanelo Group, here referred to as the buyer, is a mainstay in the hospitality sector, boasting of a firm footprint in Botswana and regionally. We previously introduced the UNDP Supply Development Program, or SDP as it's more commonly known, an initiative that we explore through a series of interactions with the value chains and sectors which it supports. We continue in today's episode with a focus on tourism and hospitality as we speak to Cresta Maracanelo Limited.
Cresta Maracanelo is a proudly Botswana company. We are listed in the Botswana Stock Exchange. We've been in operation for a number of years, running hotels. So we are in the hospitality sector. In Botswana, we operate 11 hotels from Jwane right up to Kasane. So in Jwane, we have Cresta Jwane. In Gaborone, we've got the 2 hotels, Cresta President and Cresta Lodge. And then going up the A1, we have Cresta Mahalape. And then in Palape, we've got Cresta Botsalo, in Selebe Pukwe, Cresta Bosele. And then in Francistown, we've got Cresta Tapama and Cresta Marang. And then in the northwest, we have 2 hotels in Maung, Cresta Mount Resort, Cresta Riley's. And then in the north and up north, then we have also Cresta Moana in Kasane. This is our flagship product. We are also proud that we have another operation in a different country. We have under Cresta Maracanelo Limited a hotel in Lusaka, Zambia called Golfview. We have a sister company with 5 properties in Zimbabwe, 3 in Harare, 1 in Bulawayo, and another one in the Vic Falls. So the group portfolio is 17 hotels. We also have an office in Sandton, Johannesburg. We are a responsible corporate company. We pride ourselves in terms of the local suppliers that we have in our database. A lot of 99% of our suppliers are sourced from local companies, and I think that's where the UNDP program comes into play in terms of, so it's a welcome development to capacitate local suppliers, and we're proud to be involved in that. It brings discipline in terms of the supplier value chain, that the suppliers will have mentorship, that they will have somebody overlooking their products, their service delivery, and for us, it means that there is a body out there which has got the same aspirations as we do. So it's a tripartite. So you have the UNDP, you have the suppliers, and then you have us buyers. So I think we're all looking for the same thing. We are looking to ensure that we promote the local economy, local suppliers, and in turn we all benefit. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Primetime Live. Primetime Live.
When the market and competition demand it, will my business be able to evolve? When critical circumstances demand it, will my business be able to adapt? Well, in this moment, we speak to Sasa Interiors, a company that through the assistance of the SDP was able to find answers to these questions.
Sasa Interiors was incorporated in 2003. We were one of the first interior design companies in Botswana. And over the years, we've actually built a very strong portfolio in the corporate sector. We pride ourselves in a lot of projects that we've done locally. We've done the likes of the Botswana Telecoms head office. We've done BPOPF head office. And we've also mastered the project implementation process over the years, providing our clients with turnkey solutions for their projects. SASA Interiors has got 10 employees who are predominantly women. So one of those few companies that are really flying high the empowerment of women within our industry. We were very lucky to have been selected for this program, and we're very grateful that we've been able to participate in this program. Of course, when we initially selected, we didn't understand what it really involved, but our consultant engaged us and gave us a full understanding of the benefits, because ultimately it has to add value to both the buyer and the supplier. So our buyer was Cresta. So we're very grateful that we're able to, it was now an opportunity for us to really tap into a sector that we've been dying to really move into. It has been predominantly over the years dominated by the international companies that come into Botswana and take over that big chunk of the sector. The process was quite vigorous, quite involving. A lot of meetings, a lot of information that we needed to share in order for them to make an assessment, a full assessment of where we can actually see the value or add value to this program, so both the supplier and the buyer can actually benefit from this relationship. So before this program, we had been involved in a project with Cresta, the renovation of the Jwaneng hotel. So the reference point was that we were able to assess and really see where there's room for improvement and what it is that we can improve in order to provide maybe a better service for our client in the future. Our engagements were very, very positive. We discussed potential projects that Cresta wanted to embark on and possibilities of us participating in those projects. But unfortunately, COVID-19 affected the hospitality industry tremendously, where it actually had to close completely. That meant then that such high capital-intensive projects had to be shelved and probably focus on how they can actually continue to sustain themselves. So I think it also sort of set us back a little bit, but we then applied ourselves differently and wanted to find out, but how do we still maintain relevant in this sector that we truly want to participate in? And through SASA Homeware, which is a sister company to SASA Interiors, we introduced a reupholstery section. So we upholster existing furniture, both for that's corporate, individuals, or hospitality environments. So this is a niche within the supplier value chain, where we also went and targeted and felt that it's quite relevant in these times where you're reducing your expenditure, but yet you still want to create a very refreshed look. So that's an area that we're looking at aggressively marketing into our hospitality clients, especially our buyer Cresta, that indeed we can still continue to be relevant within the refurbishment works within the hotels. We've improved a lot of our processes in-house. I think we're looking at better ways of approaching our projects. We've also been equipped in terms of just trying to be robust in difficult times. We didn't sit back and fold our arms just because we're hit by a pandemic. It allowed us to be innovative and still remain relevant. I think it's very important for a business to be able to reinvent itself during trying times.
The UNDP trained consultants' one-on-one approach to supplier business needs is tailor-made to refocus the participating SMEs' critical role in the economy.
Our main objectives as the consultant is to ensure that there is a mutual understanding between the two parties. The supplier has to understand the expectations of the buyer company in the sense of quality, or if they say they are talking of quality, what exactly do they mean? If they are talking of delivery times, what exactly do they mean? and the issues of prices. If they are saying the prices should be competitive, what exactly do they mean? We also have to ensure that the suppliers are competitive enough to meet the demands or the needs of the buyer. Competitive meaning they should be able to produce the right quality, number one. They have to ensure that they give competitive prices. They also have to ensure that they adhere to the agreed delivery times. They have to understand that they are not the only suppliers in the Cresta database. There are other suppliers who are their competitors. So they have to ensure that for them to remain consistent, they have to ensure they meet those demands.
Primetime Live. Primetime Live.
Great supply practices improve efficiency in any business. Suppliers who participated in the UNDP Supplier Development Program are armed with tools that allow them a futuristic view of their business. If you just joined us, then you missed the first segment of our show, but we welcome you still, as fortunately the story continues to unfold. We are still discussing the UNDP Supplier Development Program, but this time we move away from tourism and hospitality and bring our focus to agriculture, specifically horticultural farming, as we assess the NAPRO value chain.
NAPRO is short for National Agro-Processing. It was established in 2016. It's a spin-off National Food Technology Research Center that is not taken Kenya. So mandate one NAPRO is to focus on horticultural produce, that is getting produce from farmers and giving it a long shelf life. So basically what we do, we buy from farmers, we buy beetroots, we buy tomatoes, we buy carrots, we buy onions, and we turn them into a longer shelf life. We do acha, we do tomato sauces, we do pickled beetroot, and we've got dry products. The brand for NAPRO is Harvest Haven. Actually, what we are saying, we're creating a haven for the produce that we get from farmers. Our products are found in some of the big retail stores around the country. That is Choppies, Spar, Safalana, and we're still taking to other retail stores as well, so that we can cover the whole country. With the SDP, we've seen an improvement, especially on the farmer side, in terms of the supply that we get from them. That is in terms of the quality, in terms of the capacity and efficiencies. There's been an improvement since the farmers have been involved in that program. So we've also had some consultants that we're working with in terms of product improvement. When the product is new, there are normally some assumptions regarding that product or rejections from the market. So we've been working with the suppliers, especially the farmers, in terms of improving the quality of the products together with the consultants, so that whatever that we get from them, when we process them, it gives us the quality of product that can be accepted by the consumers in the market.
RATEX, that is the combined abbreviation of the words rape, tomato, cabbage, carrot, and spinach. RATEX is also the name of a farming business that has found itself in a rather advantageous position in terms of competitiveness. This is due in part to the Supply Development Program, connecting it to a plethora of major buyers, including NAPRO.
Ke tsene mo programeng ya UNDP ka 2019 ka fiwa Re Garibini as my consultant. Re Garibini o re thusitse mo dilong tse dintsi thata mo programeng ye. O ithetse gona le sodio dingwe tse leng gore ra di shota ka kwano ra di thaela. Mme go nne ga gagwe ga gone ga re libisa temo ka litho le rileng. Pele ga re ka simolola re ne re se batho ba e leng gore ne re khona go lema beetroot ka selekanyo se re lemang beetroot ka sone gompieno. Gompieno re khona go produce beetroot all year round. Ile gore ano re lebile gore re na le market o re createtsweng ke ba UNDP. Ha re simolola kgwebo e ne re le batho ba ene ile gore re lema cabbage ka bokete jo bontsi ka bokete jo bo rileng mo famong ya rona. Jaanong ha re ta go tsena mo programming re ne pele ga mo ne re na le ditshenyegelo tse dintsi tsa cabbage before re ta go tsena mo programming. Jaanong ha re setse re le mo programming re ne ra lemoga gore beetroot e ka kgona go dira madi go hita cabbage ka ha e leng gore napro e bata product ya beetroot ka teng.
Horticultural enterprises face quite a number of obstacles, whether it be the quality of the produce or the demand for it. So corrective interventions are a crucial element of the business. Precisely. So where do you go from here? Well, as the sign says, it's all the way over there.
Re lema dijalo tse di harologaneng mme re na le di-main crops tse e leng gore re tsaya re ke tsone tse re beile mo go tsone ka tse e leng tsone tse re di lemang. Re lema cabbage, re lema tamati, re lema green pepper, re lema le butternut. Ha re lemile re rekisa ko Phikwe. Mo Phikwe gantsi gore re rekelwa ke di-shopo tse di tshwanang bo Welcome, bo Fresh Pack la ha malatsi a yone na le mathata gore na sha recently, bo Daily Needs. Mo gongwe bareki ba rena ba bagolo ke di-hawkers, both mo Madinare le gone ko Phikwe. Pele ga lenaneo la SGP le nna teng ba nna pre ne re dirisanya le bone mme ne se mo go na le moko ka gore nna ba sa kgone go reka ya la mo gore le ne re ha ke tshwere onion ha ba re ba rekile ngwe ba rekile 20 bags. But since re kopangwa ke bone this program ya SGP e re kopanya le bone re bone go nna le improvement, ba kgona go reka di beetroot up to 600 kg, ba kgona go reka tamati at a time mo ba kgona go tsa up to 20 crates. Dijo tse e le gore pele ne ba sa kgona go di dira nna ba re ba tsere ba tsa bo 2 hell, but ke re bone go nna le improvement since lenaneo le nna teng.
O le suppliera mo thulaganyong e o thuswa ka gore o thuswa ka go gola ka gore wa rutwentshiwa mme ebile go rutwentshwa mo go rutwentshwa gore mo tsamaisong tsa go tsa kgwebo o kgone go gola ka ditsela tse e leng gore tsamaiso ya go ya kgwebo ya tokagala. Ditsamaiso tsa kgwebo tsa go tokagala ga tsone re mo go tokagaleng yaka gore a ga ka o rekisetsa lekgwebo e tona e tshwana naporo a o di lebara ka nako, a o di lebara ka price e maleba e lekaneng, a service ya gago bodiri ja gago ya ka o isa service ko madelongwa a ke siameng, a bokgoni ja go ja boitsanape bo kgona go tsamayana le ba National Agro Processing, a kgona go nna le boitsanape jo bo na le boleng ja gore o ntshe di maungo kana dithoto tse di boleng tse le gore di ka le tsone di a oketsa thoto ko madirelo a National Agro Processing. Le gone gore hela motho le gore wa communicator jalo motho o na le tirisano e molemo. Yana ke gone development e re buang re roeta gore motho le lengwe mo nakong ya go ya tswela kgwebo a nna thabologela ko pele mme ebile gape re rotloetsa gore go thabolle gape ka quality ya boleng ya dilo tse o di dirang. So go na le lenaneo le nonofileng thata le tseneletseng la go thabolla quality ya dithoto tsa madirelo a dikgwebo tse dipotlana tse.
Primetime Live.
Well, this marks the end of our episode here today, but be sure to catch us again in the next episode. So until we see you then, it's good night and God bless. This program was brought to you in partnership with UNDP in Botswana.